Hey guys, how you doing today? Ron here with you. We are going to be taking a look at the Ycam today by Home Moniter company, and the camera that we're looking at today. We've been testing it now, as most of you know, for the past few months, and I want to share with you the simplicity of this camera. All right, a lot of people have been asking, well, you know, how hard is it to set up, okay? You know, a lot of people are saying, I have no bloody clue how to do this, okay? I've never even played with any kind of a video camera for the computer. I want to tell you something, okay? This camera by Ycam, it is so simple to hook up, and you'll see that here in a minute, okay? And what we can do also, if you decide that you want to get a camera, and predominantly we're getting cameras for weather observation, but remember, the camera that you buy from Ycam could also be a security camera in addition to your weather camera, as you'll see here in a minute, okay? Now again, all you have to do is go to their website, www.y-cam.com, and there you can you know, look at all the stuff they have. But here real quick, I want to show you the products, right? Now they do offer, Jesse's going to cover this a little bit more later, they offer what they call free cloud storage. This is huge. I mean, it really is. A lot of companies now that offer a security camera system, they're going to talk about, you know, hey, you can get our security camera and it has cloud technology. Well, what they don't tell you is you got to pay for that cloud storage, right? Anywhere from, oh my gosh, I've already seen it as high as about $100 a month, okay? Meaning that when you have video recorded from your camera, it has to go somewhere. A lot of cameras have a memory chip on them. Now, if you have a lot of activity, that memory card or chip could be filled up within a day or two, okay? Then you got to go unplug it, you know, take the memory from the card and put it on your computer. Kind of a headache, right? Here with Ycam, the memory, the images that are being recorded by the camera are available for you 24/7, and they are recorded on the cloud. Now, they're not going to give you unlimited cloud storage, but they do give you, I believe it's out to 30 days of free cloud storage, which is more than enough. I mean, you know, if you have an event that happens, you simply, you know, can take that image off your cloud and download it and save it, okay, to your own file, right? Now, they offer, you know, the indoor camera. Oops. They have the indoor camera, which is right here. Then they have the HD indoor, and they have the HD outdoor pro, which I absolutely love. I think, you know, this is the way to go. On their indoor cameras, a couple of things I'll show you here in a minute, in case I forget. When you have an indoor camera, yes, you can use it for photographing and recording outdoor activities, okay? But make sure you mount your camera right up against the window, and I'll show you that here in a minute. We have the indoor cam down below at our weather center, okay? And I'll show you what I mean, but the camera should be mounted flush to the window, otherwise you're going to get glare from the camera. We have this right here is the Home Monitor HD Pro. This is the camera. It's small. Actually, I'm being recorded right now. And on the camera, what's kind of neat is it has an LED light that goes between green and red. If it's flashing green like it is now, it's basically saying it's working and we are recording an action that the camera has picked up, okay? So the camera is intelligent enough to detect activity when it sees it. All right, and I'll show you that in a second in the setup here. But this is the camera. You can hold it in your hand, lightweight. You simply mount the bracket, which I'll show you in a minute. We're going to go through the steps here. But it simply mounts to any surface at all. You attach the base here, and you can mount the camera anywhere you want, okay? Now, I mean, we've also tested the cameras last winter, okay? And the camera itself, the camera can be powered by a PoE cord, meaning the cord that goes from the camera to your router. All right. When you hook it up, the first thing you do is there's a port right here. You simply plug the cable that comes with the camera into that slot. You plug it into your modem, which my modem is right there, okay, or your router rather. Now the router goes to your modem, but you hook it to your router, okay? This is the power cord in here, and the power, of course, goes to your wall outlet. Now, if you're using a PoE cable, the PoE cable means the power for the camera runs through the cable itself. Then you don't have to worry about using a power cord to your 115 outlet, okay? This is your antenna, all right? And while we're talking about the antenna part, a lot of people think that, well, a lot of people have the illusion that, you know, this antenna can reach out a long way, okay? We have situations right now where the Home Monitor, I've tested it. Now, a direct line of sight, meaning there's no obstructions at all. I had it out about 450 feet, and I was able to receive the signal from the camera via Wi-Fi, but it was intermittent, okay? We have situations where we have a camera mounted in a building, and it's going through a couple of offices, only maybe 35 feet, that was it. But because it was going through a couple of walls, the signal was really intermittent. So I tell people, I highly recommend hardwiring the cameras if you can. But if you are going to use the Wi-Fi, please remember it's Wi-Fi. It's not designed to go hundreds and hundreds of feet. Okay? When you first hook up the camera, you're basically going to go to the Home Monitor website. All right, and it's real simple. You would go onto your website. You would click on Camera Manager, all right? And once you click on the Camera Manager, all right, and I'm already in my account, okay? But if you know, once you log in, again, contact myself or Jesse. If you get a camera, you can incorporate that camera into our AccuWeather account page, okay? Where we have a series of cameras all over the country right now that we're showcasing and locations, right? So we can include yours with our setup here. But again, in this case, I'm already logged into the AccuWeather account for Ycam, all right? And as you can see, I have, I'll come down to, well, on top it shows you camera settings, motion recording settings, Wi-Fi settings, okay, and your deactivate button, which you never really want to do unless you absolutely have to deactivate the camera, all right. And where we at here? Let me try to find it. Okay, here's the camera here. I just installed it, okay. It's right there, over there on my computer, called Chicory Snow. So I have my camera settings. I click on camera settings, and what it'll do, it'll take me into my setup, okay? Or I can name the camera ID, all right? So when you get the camera for the first time, the first thing you do is you plug it into your router, all right? You're going to type in the camera ID, which is a little sticker that's attached to the camera. You just type it in, you can adjust and the level of the microphone. It has night vision capability, auto, enable, or disable. I tell people, just leave it on auto, all right? Now, if you have an indoor camera, all right, and you have the night vision turned on, you will not be able to see out that window. What happens is when you enable night vision, all right, on an indoor camera, and that camera's up against the window, what happens is you're going to get a reflective glare from the IR, because what happens is the camera is emitting an IR signal outward, so that's how you can see in the dark, all right? So I recommend if you have an indoor camera facing out a window, just disable your night vision, okay? You can also, it tells you to enable your email attachments. You can give it an email, so if it sees activity, the moment it sees activity, it's going to send you an email, and it's going to say, hey, we have action, you know, heads up, you know. It gives you also the alert notification settings, okay? And it has the ability for high quality and standard quality. Now, for the most part, we keep it on high quality, but again, sometimes if you're running more than 3 or 4 cameras on your system, running high quality will, really cram up your, it'll bottleneck your signal, okay? So I tell people, play around with that and, take it from there. Now, video archive. This is really cool, okay? So all of the cameras in our account are listed here, all right? And it'll give me, again, I have access to every activity. So in other words, here we have blue knob keyed in. So at blue knob, there was activity, all right? And at that particular time, 8:25:26, it was 21 seconds long. It recorded, an activity. So I click on the arrow, and right there's an image of the activity. There we have a person, a human being and a dog, walking on the ski slopes. That's kind of interesting. I can enlarge that image too. And now this is on high quality HD, and look how clear that is, all right? Now mind you, I'm recording from my contour to the screen, but it is absolutely phenomenal, okay? Now this is the night vision, okay? That's the night vision view of the IR, okay? And you can see it illuminates the ski lift pretty good. The ski tote assembly up here, and in the background you have all the city lights in the background. But again, if you look up close here, that was pretty good. That was actually quite good. The images, that's going, let me see the image here. From the camera out to the edge where you can see the grass and all that, that's a good 200 feet away, 220 feet there. All right. And now it's picking up motion. Let me show you that again, okay? So the camera picked up motion, and you can see that chair right there moving back and forth. Do you see that? Okay, that was a bug, okay? That was a bug flying in front of the camera. Now, you can adjust the settings on the camera to make it more sensitive, again, or like less sensitive. You have, this is where in my account, the AccuWeather account for the cameras, okay? Just to give you an idea, we have an indoor camera at AccuWeather. That's Jesse's desk right there. This is the image we just saw, blue knob. Now, a lot of times, you'll get a screen like that with the next, okay? Don't worry about it. Sometimes it shows you it's connected, all right? Now, what happens is sometimes people have, instead of having like, a direct internet where, it's through a hard wire, a lot of people have to use the satellite Wi-Fi. Satellite Wi-Fi is a headache. Why? It's slow. You would think it would be faster, right? It's not. The satellite systems are really slow, so it takes them a lot longer to load up, okay? But we have the horseshoe curve. It's a satellite, and, it is a slower image only because the image is via satellite, okay? But it does work good. This camera is hardwired at horseshoe curve. The Blue Knob Ski Resort, we just installed it, and even though it shows an X in the view screen, I'm going to click it, and it should come up. The image, okay? Now, here's the nice part about it. Check out the cloud detail. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, a lot of times you'll get a camera that's outdoors and the whole sky is just nothing but blurry, okay? And you have no cloud definition whatsoever. I'll enlarge it. You can see the cloud definition up here. You can see the clarity of the camera, all right? You can see the shack down below. You can actually see on the left-hand side here, over here, the chairlift is going down over the mountain. We have at nighttime, there's houses down here, and you can see the lights in the houses are all lit up real nice and clear. This is facing the east, well, north-northeast. This is looking out towards Claysburg. Oh, boy. And now, there we go. There's Jesse calling me. Good morning. Hey, Jess, I'm doing a video here about the Y-Cam, and I'm showing people right now the Blue Knob Cam, and I'm explaining, which I think you could give them a better description later, but on satellite, it's kind of choppy, only because of satellite feed.
Yeah, satellite internet doesn't have the bandwidth of other internet providers typically, but the Y-Cam still works on it.
Right, right. The Ycam is a good durable camera, and like I was telling the folks, I recommend a hard wire. And if you do run Wi-Fi, don't be going out no 500 feet because it's just not going to work.
Yeah, any camera is going to be more reliable if it's hardwired, but if you have strong Wi-Fi, then that's also an option if you can't run the wires.
Hey, real quick question, then I'm going to turn my camera off. I got to edit all this. When I go back out of here, Jesse, hold on a sec. I'm glad you called me. You can do this segment for me here. If I go to my home, if you're I hope you can see it, the Weather Matrix 3 camera. Now this is a Ycam camera. It's an indoor camera. Now Jesse has it mounted to the window. Now you're going to see a glare in the window. The reason we have that glare is because, why, Jess?
Well, the camera itself is white, and it's going to reflect in the window. But I've looked at a number of solutions where you can take a plastic box, what they call an acro bin, and put that around the camera so that you don't get reflections, even if it's looking outside.
And that's the other thing I talked a little bit about here a little bit ago, that if you're having an indoor camera facing outside, you want to make sure you turn off your IR at night. Otherwise, you'll just get one big reflection.
Right off the window, yeah.
Yeah, it reflects off the window. But I'll tell you what, either way you go, a lot of people don't want to put an outdoor camera outside. They're afraid it'll freeze or whatever. I mean, you can go with an indoor camera like Jesse did here, and you can see the quality is quite good. This is an HD Ycam camera, and he has it facing his backyard where the bear was at, which we haven't seen the bear in a while, have we?
No, but it's hot. It's about that time of year that he might start walking by, so we might catch him yet on the motion detection that the Ycam has.
Okay. I just want to share with you another thing I've done. Okay, I have my my place up here, and we have our. It's a garage, but and as you can see, the lower building is quite a way down there, okay? It's about 350 feet away to 400 feet. So the Wi-Fi signal to reach that building, it makes it, okay? But what I had to do is, if you look up here, I have a TP link, okay? Now, the TP link is what they call a Wi-Fi extender. So what it's doing is it amplifies the Wi-Fi signal from here, and it sends it down there to a receiver, so I can have internet down there. And I also have a camera down there, the Ycam camera. I'll show you up close. Inside the base, there's a slot. You can adjust the angle of your camera, okay? But it's simply, I'm using two drywall screws only because they're a lot easier to go in, and they a little longer, they give me more support. So now I want to tilt the camera base a little bit. I simply loosen one of the screws, and I can move you can see how easy it moves, okay? And I can get it, and I can eye it up a little bit, and then I just simply tighten it down, okay? It goes on like that, okay? And you twist it a little bit, okay? And then the antenna, it goes up in the air, all right? And you just rest it there, and I will unravel the wire here. Okay. Now, when you mount the camera, it's a good thing to put these connectors inside this housing here, okay? It is a tight fit, but trust me, it does work, all right? What I like to do, now this is my personal preference, okay, is I'll take these connectors here, okay, and I'll encase them at a weatherproof housing that I'll use, okay, that I can wrap these up in to waterproof them, all right? And on the camera, you have a set screw here on the bottom, and you can adjust to tighten this up, and you can tighten it up. And again, once I get the camera up, I level the camera, okay? We're going to be sending it up to Jesse up in State College. You can see I have a red light. So the red light is indicating it's got power, but it has not yet communicated with the server, okay? So the light will start flashing red, all right? And I have to give it a few moments here for the camera to see. Okay, there you go. We have a green light, okay? It went solid green, indicating that a good indication that we have a good signal, okay? Perfect. Now, the camera should have already picked up that car movement, okay? And it will... Ooh, the great Neanderthal of all time. Here he comes, America. Look at that man. Look at that man walk. A god amongst all man.
Yeah.
There he is. He holds his head up high.
Oh, yeah.
Look at him. He looks like a man, don't he?
So happy.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Look at that blue sky, would you? Why is that sky blue?
I see a lot of clouds up here.
I know. It's going to be bad up at Blue Knob.
Is it?
He just called. He said they got 40-mile-an-hour winds, cold as heck.
Oh my God.
Ice is forming. He wanted us to climb it. Come on, I'll show you. We're going to do the work from here, maybe. You know, he wanted you to climb up a 200-foot high tower today.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, yeah, the great kazoo can do that. Woohoo! Let's go upstairs. Oh yeah, he owns a football team called the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah.
Eagles. He owns the Eagles, yeah. Okay, folks, here you can see the image of the camera I just mounted, okay? And you can see the clarity, the wood line, the road coming out, the driveway down below, and the house below, okay? So you can see it as a wide angle. Now, again, we talked about setting up the camera itself. I can go into Camera Manager. Now, what I'm going to do, this is a rarity for most cameras. If I go into camera setting, again, in my account for AccuWeather, which that camera is attached to, horseshoe curve, I come down to my camera, I just put online. Where is it? Oh, I'm blind as a bat today. I'll be editing this thing out. See, Laurel Highlands incline. What? Has to be here. J-cam, okay, horseshoe curve. Where's that? Did he change it? Oh, where'd it go? Jesse, what did you do to me? Yeah, Blue Knob is nice, but we'll go through here. I'll show you the video. The owner, he wants me to show you the video.
Sure.
You know.
Is it just Blue Knob or is it other places he has? If you write down what resort...
he changed it, Laurel Highlands 1. Hold on. What was that again now you're doing there?
No, do you know the names of some of these other places he has?
Yeah.
We write it down, I can look up online.
I have it all here. I'm going to give you everything today, okay? Mm-hmm. Relax, sir.
Oh, no, I am.
We know what to do, okay? Now, folks, let's go through. I mounted the camera up, and we have, it's called Laurel Highlands 1, is what we called it, okay? And if I click on camera settings, all right, I'll show you the options first under the camera settings. The name, the name of the camera. The microphone has been enabled. Night vision is on auto. Everything else is good, okay? High quality, all right? No need to save that. I come back into Camera Manager. Here's the fun part. Here's where I like this camera a lot and its capabilities. I come over here to the motion recording setting, which is the third tab, the middle tab, all right? Laurel Highlands 1. I click on that. Now, the reason it takes a little bit of time is because the server is located overseas in England, so we have some lag time there. And as you can see, it's showing Zone 1 and Zone 2. Zone 2, Zone 1. Now, we have enabled both zones. Now, again, why is this important? For security purposes, like I talked about. Now, if somebody's walking in the yard, a human being, all right, in this zone, Zone number 1, which is up here, it says detect motion on Zone 1. So Zone 1, I can make it bigger. I can overlap it into Zone 2, but that's Zone 1, okay? Now in Zone 1, I have it set on small movement. So even if a mouse was walking on the ground, or if that swing right there is moving ever so slightly, it's going to indicate motion, which is okay by me. Get an email, you can delete them. But at least if I have any other abnormality, like I have, like say I've been looking for fissures, okay, which fissures are, they're nasty little creatures, or if I have, animals here that I, really don't want around, and the camera will pick it up, okay? So you have 2 zones capable for your use there. All right. And again, folks, I would highly recommend checking out the Y-Cam from Home Monitor. We use them as our weather cameras, and they are very durable. A lot of people say, well, how cold can it get before the camera will quit working? Last year, we hit with the wind chill of 30 below zero, and the camera never went offline. Now, I also tell people, if you want to, you can insulate that camera with some insulation. It's stuff you buy from to insulate your water heater. You can take some of that and just wrap it around the camera, and that'll help, keep it insulated. And again, remember that the cameras that have satellite tend to be a little bit slower. All right. Here's the horseshoe curve, just to give you a view of what it looks like, through the Y-Cam. Now again, it's coming up slow only because it's satellite, and I couldn't figure this out myself, but satellite, it's going from Earth up to the satellite and back, and it takes longer than it being a direct feed through a cable. Okay, now here's the horseshoe curve. Now it's still loading. Again, it takes a while to load because it is satellite fed, all right? Now, sometimes if this pops up, right, where it tells you unable to connect to the camera, simply update the image. Again, it does that because of the satellite connection. And 2 weeks ago, this was all color. All these leaves were there. Now we don't have no more leaves left. And now they're calling for a snowstorm. Horseshoe curve is having trouble. Oh well. So much for horseshoe.